All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Owen, Fritz with you here, and let's go ahead and crank open the radar. Got some storms here firing up. We talked about these a little bit earlier. Meteorologist Mike Joyce was also on a little bit ago. I was on break, and now we're starting to see a line fire up as we head into the mid-Ohio Valley. So I wanted to come live and talk about that line real quick. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings out, and we also have another one that's just been issued here just in our eastern counties, I should say our western counties of Indiana, as you can see there on the screen. So we had some pretty decent rain and some storms that are rolling through here in southern Ohio, and some pretty decent downpours, I should say, with some small hail. And let's go ahead and flip over here. I'm going to flip over to a video that was sent to us a little bit ago, and I'll just show you how intense this was. And I don't know how hot the sound is, but we're going to go ahead and flip over to that right now, and I'll play that video for you. And this is sent in by Caitlin Alt out of Columbus area. So let's go ahead and play that video real quick. And you kind of see here driving down the road, it's coming down pretty good, and then even more of a downpour. With some hail here coming up here in just a second. This video is about 3 minutes long. So if we go ahead and jump into some of the mid part of this video, look at the trees in the background there. So for pretty strong winds with this as it moved through the Columbus metro area just a short time ago. So that's why we're live now, just giving you a little bit more of a heads up here. If you haven't caught our broadcast earlier, you can see here in this video, again, Caitlin Old sent this in, see the trees just blowing around there as they're driving down the interstate. You can hear in the background some very small hail with this as well. So what an interesting drive that would be, in some trees down right there as this front moved through and this line of storms moved through as driving down the road here, and it continues on. But what a way to start your day, I guess, if you're driving down the road right now. So this was that storm. That was the storm cell associated down here just outside of Columbus now. So let's go down and get a decent look at it here. We'll move into the Zanesville area, so it's coming to you next. So let's go ahead and fire up here and let's kind of read what we got going on. We got 3-4 thunderstorm warnings here that we're looking at right now. So the first one, we're going to start over here with the most northern storm, most northern warning. So this one was issued at 5:52 and goes until 6:30. So this is the latest one issued here for our friends over in Muskingum County. So Muskingum County, you do have a severe thunderstorm warning for you in the southern portion of Muskingum County until 6:30. So again, they're talking about 30-mile-an-hour movement on the storm with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail with this storm. The next warning down below this for our friends down here in Perry County and portions of Morgan County, this one was issued a little bit ago, but this one is for Perry County and northwestern Morgan County until 6:30. Again, penny-size hail on this is what they're saying at 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And then let's go down here to one of the newer warnings that's just been issued a few minutes ago down here just outside of Cincinnati. And this one here was issued at 5:54 just a couple of minutes ago and also expires at 6:30. This is the latest warning in. It's going to be for northeastern Brown County, south central Clinton County, and southwestern Highland County until 6:30. So all these are going until 6:30. This one, though, and this is why I bring this up too, ping pong ball size hail is what they're saying here. So that's 1.5-inch hail that is possible with this one. So if you're in Brown County or Clinton County and even portions of Highland County, heads up to you, ping pong ball size hail that are possible here with this particular storm cell. So this is something you got to keep a very, very close eye on as we move over the next few minutes, because ping pong ball size hail, we don't see it that often. As we zoom in here, you can kind of see where that, and I'll zoom right in here just outside of Lynchburg. I'll zoom in right here. You can see that very dark purple. That's where some hail is probably occurring right now, just to the east of State Route 68, just outside of Lynchburg. So man, oh man, some pretty strong hail with that one, and wind gusts, again, up to 60 miles an hour that are possible here with this storm cell. So kind of zooming out here, we had this line starting to fire up a little bit, fired up a little bit greater than we kind of expected. There was some instability. We thought we'd see some of the line as this is moving through, but it's definitely continued, especially with these warnings that's been long-lived now. This has continued a lot longer than we thought it would be, but it has just enough instability out front of this that it is trucking right along. So it's getting ready to come in here to Zanesville. So I'll go ahead and zoom out or zoom in here. So Zanesville, you're under the warning now. And let's go ahead and throw this into motion quickly. And you kind of see here the latest warning. Now, the interesting thing is most generally this is moving a little bit to the southeast, but it is taking that east-southeasterly direction. So depending on which way it's moving, Zanesville, you might get in on some of the action here. Definitely going to get on a little bit up here, but the main part of this storm cell down here by Somerset, Somerset, is where the leading edge of the winds and the strong winds are with this and some of the severe winds. Kind of looking at the reflectivity here, or base velocity here, not seeing much in the terms of any type of rotation, which is a good sign, but definitely seeing projected wind gusts here of over 60 miles an hour. So definitely had some strong winds. You could see that we had that video playing just a little bit ago there from Caitlin, and it definitely had some trees down off to the side of the road. So it's very strong winds with this, and that's going to be the kind of the theme of the day and even into tonight. I know we have a lot of different types of words being used that potentially could happen in the overnight hours. We did have an upgrade to the Storm Prediction Center for some of the counties over in Indiana and Illinois. So we're watching that, and how long-lived will it be for us in the overnight hours. So long story short with this, with everybody watching, tonight in the overnight hours, it's best to just make sure you have a way to receive warnings. That's important. It's always good to have a way to receive those warnings. And then also remember to charge your devices, man. It's very important. Charge your devices as much as you can before you go to bed, just in case you have some power outages in the overnight hours. Just charge those devices and make sure, again, you have a way to receive warnings. You can download our app, although albeit I said it earlier, we're not the only app in Ohio or general. We do have lots of different apps and choices that you have. FEMA has a great app from the Red Cross as well. FEMA, Red Cross, they have the great app, but ours is pretty decent. You can follow along. You can see the radar. You can see projected radar as well, which is kind of cool. So download it in the App Store or the Google Play Store, and you can join right along with us here as we head into the overnight hours is kind of what we're looking at. But downstream of this right now, so kind of giving you the current look here, we'll zoom back in here just south of Columbus. This is kind of where we're looking at. This line, kind of this quasi-line just starting a little bit. And along this line, we're seeing some of these storms, mostly generally garden variety storms, but you are seeing a little bit of some of those get a little bit cranky, and then we're seeing some stronger winds with those, and even now ping pong ball size hail for our friends down in Clinton County and Highland County, and even portion of Brown County's in on that action here down here. So I am going to zoom in on that real quick, just kind of see what we got going on here. Let's go ahead and go back into this one. Just south of Wilmington, this one has a ping pong ball size hail that they're saying here that's been indicated by radar. So 1.5 inch hail, very, very large. So that's what we're looking at here. So if you're in that area, radar indicated gusts also of 60 miles an hour with that one as well. Let's take you back out here, take a wide look. We do have a little bit of some storms firing up here across Indiana and the southern portion of Indiana that will be approaching our coverage area here in the next county or so. It would be in our coverage area here for the eastern portion of Indiana that we're looking at that may, if it holds together, may dip south and approach the Cincinnati area as well, along with some other storms firing here just north of Dayton. Any one of these has that potential of going severe. We kind of had that risk outlook today that it could have some severe qualities with some of these storms that we're seeing today. Again, more of the general variety type garden thunderstorms, but you are seeing them pop up to be severe. So let's take a look here quickly. I know some of you are asking about tonight, and there's a lot of discussion about tonight, and I understand that, and it makes sense. We're seeing kind of a lot of different model runs that keep coming in. It's got a pretty decent handle on it, and let's see if I can cue this up for you here. Just give me 1 second. See if I can pop this back into motion here and cue it up. And I need to reload that and see if we can get it up for you. Just give me 1 second to get the model data here. That's why. We go here. Yeah, and I know you can't see it just yet. I'm going to see here. We're just getting that latest run in. It's only giving me till, yeah, it's not giving me. I'll have to go back a previous run. But let's go ahead and flip over to that here quickly. You can kind of see here from our weather bell model in our graphics. This is the HRRR model. Looking here and kind of seeing, got these pop-up storms here throughout the rest of the day. And here we go. Roll it into here, 00. So we're not quite at midnight. This is 8 o'clock tonight, 9, 10, 11. And let's go ahead and go out here to 5 Zulu. So you kind of see that 5 Zulu there. We're 4 hours behind Zulu time. So you can see here at 1 in the morning, this is when it starts to approach our counties here in Indiana. And quite a healthy line of storms there that you're seeing. And let's go ahead and advance this again to 3 in the morning. And we'll stop at 6. At 6, you're starting to see it weaken just a little bit. And then at 7, it's starting to weak even more. And as we head towards daybreak, you're starting to see it fire off here to the north. And everything starts to diminish as we get into tomorrow. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And the question becomes, right here, we're looking at, this is 3 in the morning. Let's go back here a little bit, 2 in the morning. 1 in the morning. The question really becomes, are we really going to see, is this really going to hold together even further as it goes into Ohio? Sometimes the models does not do a great job of keeping it together, and sometimes it does hold together. So Northwest Ohio, and even if you're in the rest of the area for Ohio, you do have a chance again to see some of these storms pop off and be a little bit to the severe criteria. So that's very possible as well. So back to our radar here, and I'll also put up here so you can see the categorical outlook for the Storm Prediction Center real quick. Go ahead and reset here, and I'll put the model overlay on here for you from the Storm Prediction Center so you kind of see what we're looking at. So this is the new categorical outlook. And you can see they introduced a moderate risk for Chicago and portions of Indiana. This is the enhanced risk here, slight risk and marginal risk. So when looking at risks, the green area is going to be level 1. Level 2 is going to be our area that is a slight risk. Level 3 is going to be our enhanced risk. And then our moderate risk that was introduced, level 4 out of 5 for mainly the overnight hours here is what we're looking at. Going into tomorrow, so going into Tuesday, looking at that, you can see the risk now shifts towards the Mid-Ohio Valley. So on Tuesday, you can kind of see that risk shift over there. Let me go ahead and turn off the radar too so you don't get too confused. And we'll pop off the warnings here. But this is for Tuesday. So you can see the risk on Tuesday. It shifts there for us. Let's go back here and go back to, I'll put the model data here. Let me do this. Put back up the overnight and kind of show you what the model is running here. Let me load up the HRRR real quick, and I'll kind of put this in with what we got going on here. So let me back this up to the current time. So 6 o'clock. This is model now, so we're looking at model data. So as this continues to move on, here we go, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Start to see that line firing up over Illinois. This is 8 o'clock tonight, and it makes sense and looks really nasty, okay, right here over Illinois. It looks very, very nasty over the state of Illinois here as it waits its way towards Chicago. So, yes, this definitely warrants that moderate risk. I think they're right in line with the Storm Prediction Center on that. We'll advance it here to 10 o'clock tonight, 11 o'clock. Just cross it into the Chicago area and then approaching Indiana here about midnight tonight. And let's go ahead and move it to 1 o'clock. Still fairly strong. We moved out of, in that hour, we moved out of that moderate into that enhanced area. So it's starting to lose a little bit of steam. It's the potential starting to be degrade. And as we head into 2 o'clock area, it moves in towards the Northwest Ohio and more of our coverage area. And it starts to lose steam once again and that's where that slight risk. So Storm Prediction Center has done a fairly decent job, I think, from what model data is saying and what they're seeing on the risk level as we head into the overnight hours. So it could get very rocky for some people in Chicago and even in the northwestern portion of Indiana, so up by Chicago. But as it heads into our area, not 100% buying that it's going to be as strong, but we could see some of that garden variety type thunderstorms as we head into the overnight hours, as well as even into tomorrow morning. We could see the potential again for some of these storms to get a little bit cranky, as I say. Garden variety wasn't the best word, but getting a little bit cranky that we could see. So let's go ahead and go back to our radar here in progress. And if you kind of take a look here, what's going on with those 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll load that back up here in just a second. And let's go ahead and go back down here to southern Ohio, where these 3 warnings now, I should say. There was a new one just issued here. This one down here, ping pong ball size hail. Let's go ahead and relay this one here. This one's down here for Highland County, Brown County, excuse me, and ping pong ball size hail. It's kind of crazy. So northeastern Brown County and southwestern Highland counties, you're the one that is now under the warning. They trimmed it back just a little bit. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and now they're saying $half size hail is what they just classified that as. So they went down just a little bit. It was 1.5 inch detected there via radar. Now we're down to 1.25 inch. Going back up here to Zanesville and our friends in Zanesville, we do have another new warning that was issued just a short time ago. This is the latest one that has been issued here for northern Muskingum County until 6:30. All of these are till 6:30, and they got this one again for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So some very, very strong winds with this. We had some live feeds come through as far as looking at trees down in some areas and some hail and very heavy torrential downpours and some very strong winds that we're looking at as we head into the overnight hours for some of you in the mid-Ohio Valley. Have to keep an eye on this as well. So we do, we're going to continue, and we do continue to monitor the situation here for all of you. Right now, I will tell you, in Fairfield County is leading the charge for power outages right now. We'll go to our friends over here at poweroutages.us. Leading the charge right now in way of population and percentage of people out of power right now. Fairfield County has about 8,400 that are without power currently right now to the 72,000 that were tracked. If we go up to Franklin County, about 7,500 without power there in Franklin County. Some of these counties, again, Athens County and some of these other counties are still recovering from power that went out yesterday with those line of storms. So this is kind of what we're seeing right now, which makes sense. This is where that strongest part of the storm was here just a little bit ago. Just to the south here in Fairfield County, it got a little cranky there, and even in Franklin County too, got a little cranky there for a little bit. And the storms now are pushing off towards the I-77 corridor right now. So let's go back out and give you kind of a wide shot of what's going on. We do have this line, this quasi line's trying to start to fire up, but general consensus is the rest of the day. If you're not out ahead of this, you could see a garden variety storm pop up. But if you're out ahead of this, just make sure you have a way to receive warnings here as we head into the evening hours. Those of you in northwest Ohio and northeast Indiana overnight tonight, I would have a way definitely as well to receive warnings overnight tonight. That's the general consensus, and make sure you charge those devices. So just wanted to come on and give a quick update. We're not going to keep it live here very much longer. Just kind of looking through some things here and wanted to continue to share that we're here. We're monitoring the situation. We're continuing to monitor these storms as they start to fire up a little bit towards the mid-Ohio Valley area. So that's why we come on as well to give you all a heads up down there. And we're going to continue to monitor these storms. And the storm's starting to fire up over Illinois here a little bit in just a few hours. We're going to continue to monitor those into the overnight hours. And as things start to break and things start to happen, we will continue to monitor and be with you as we head into the overnight hours, into the early morning hours, and we'll be weathering through together. So we're going to wrap it up right now. My name is Owen Fritz. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for putting your trust in Ohio News and Weather. We'll continue to come back live as we need to with updates throughout the evening and overnight hours. And once again, thank you for putting your trust in us at the Bell Park Weather Network and Ohio News and Weather. Take care.